Late last week, as of recording this video, Bioware dropped a blog post announcing Update 7.2.1 and opened the PTS for testing some of the new features. You've probably heard about it, but in case you haven't, here's a brief recap of what this update will bring. 7.2.1 will be the much anticipated 64-bit update. A lot of us have been looking forward to that, so that's great news. It will also see the start of PvP Season 2 along with its associated rewards. There will also be some changes to attacker and defender medals. These changes are currently available for testing, so if you're interested, do a Warzone and you'll be awarded one of these fluffy guys. Moving away from PvP, Update 7.2.1 will also see the beginning of Galactic Season 4, which will be called Passage to Peace. Of course, we will also be getting a new companion, whose name is Amity. Otherwise, we don't know anything about it. Some people are speculating that it will be something to do with Jedi, but we don't have any official information about that, and Galactic Season 4 is not on the PTS right now, so there's no way to really know. On top of that, they've also announced a new stronghold, which I know a lot of people are very excited about strongholds. This one is going to be on Mech Shaw. It's going to be about the same size as the fleet apartments and is going to cost Galactic Seasons tokens. I can't say I'm crazy about the location. I don't care much for Mech Shaw, but apparently Bioware does, so we're getting Mech Shaw. Like Galactic Seasons 4, the stronghold is not on the PTS. These next features are, however, and these are Bioware's inflation initiative measures. These measures, which are apparently only the beginning, for the moment entail mostly imposing travel fees and changing how repair costs are calculated. I couldn't really check out the repair cost changes because the item durability wasn't functioning properly on the PTS, at least as of the recording of this video. I was, however, able to check out the travel fees. As you can see, there will be fees for using quick travel, as well as priority transport. Now, initially, we were also going to be charged for traveling to our stronghold, but they have decided to walk that back. They got a lot of negative feedback on that particular charge because people have already had to pay a lot of credits, possibly even real world money for the strongholds, and thus being charged to use them was unfair, and they're absolutely right. And for once, maybe Bioware actually listened to this feedback. Here in this post by Eric Musco, he says that they have looked at the feedback regarding the stronghold fees and that they agree. So what they intend to do now is to have no fee for traveling to your stronghold. However, if you exit your stronghold to a planet, you would still be charged the planet travel fee. There would be no cost in returning to a planet from your stronghold. He goes on to say that if they can't make it work before they intend to deploy 7.2.1, that they would simply leave it as it is now with no cost traveling to or from your stronghold, at least until they can figure out how to get it to work. As to the travel fees that remain, they range from 100 credits to 5,000. As you can imagine, this is getting a lot of pushback, and I think rightly so. There's no way these changes won't have a negative impact on new or free-to-play players. Heck, even veteran players who start a new legacy without the benefit of a character transfer. I started playing back in 2014, and I remember what an absolute slog it was to try to get around with no credits and no speeder and just this huge cooldown on the quick travel. It wasn't fun. I couldn't afford a speeder until Tatooine, which meant that everywhere else I'd been just running on foot. I remember how terrible that was, trying to get around anywhere. Dying, going back to the med center, trying to get back to where I was, dying again, having to go back to the med center. Honestly, I'm not sure why I even continued playing it when I think about it. And I know they've made changes to the game over the years so that it might not be quite as bad as it was back then. I still think it's going to be a pretty negative experience for new players especially. So I hope they'll listen to that feedback as well, and if they don't eliminate the costs entirely, maybe at least change how they're calculated and applied. Of course, they do need to address inflation, and having a way to drain credits continually from the game is good. I'm just not sure this is the right way to go about it, at least as it's currently implemented. Of course, there are a lot of ideas being batted around on the forums. Some of them are pretty good too. I think having the nightlife event active at all times, or at least some other kind of casino where players can go and gamble, would be a really cool way to get people to spend credits. Maybe a decorations vendor. After all, we always need more decorations, and the more strongholds we get, the more decorations we need. Of course, for either of these ideas to work, Bioware would have to continually update the rewards to keep people coming back, and that might be work they just aren't interested in doing at the moment. Of course, none of these ideas or even the travel fees are going to work without addressing some of the bigger issues like off GT and trades between players that avoid the sales tax, and of course the ever-present problem of the credit sellers. And in his post, Eric did indicate that Bioware does intend to address both these issues in future updates. reiterating again that the changes that are on the PTS currently are only the beginning. I guess we'll just have to wait and see how things pan out. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. So what do you guys think? Have you been on the PTS? Have you been able to test these changes? Do you think they'll actually help, or will they do more harm than good? Let us know in the comments, and if you like this video, why not give us a like and possibly subscribe for more. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.